All right, squad. So for all of my Scat Pack and my Hellcat brothers and sisters out there, it's time to go ahead and jump ship, right? It's time to go ahead and trade in our Scats and our Cats and our RTs and everything in between. Because Ford is the future right now, and they understand that. This past week at the SEMA 2023 Auto Show in Las Vegas, they just unveiled what they're calling a Supercharger Kit that you can add to a 2024 Ford Mustang GT 5.0. The 5.0 normally makes 485 horsepower, right? 480, I'm sorry. Well, with this Supercharger Kit, that's going to boost that 480 horsepower up to quote unquote at least 800. So that's about a jailbreak red eye at that point. 800 plus horsepower for a 5.0 Mustang GT in 2024. And the Supercharger Kit is probably going to come in under $10,000. So Ford is doubling down on big V8s and big power for the future. It's time to go ahead and jump ship, guys. Let's just be honest here, right? Nobody wants inline sixes and electric engines, but let's talk about it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. So you can tell I'm in a car that makes us a car blogger. To know what's going down when I come around. Let's get into it. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So Tuesday of last week, Ford was at SEMA. Now, SEMA is arguably the biggest automaker car show in the world. In Las Vegas. It's a whole week thing. It's a big deal. One day I will be able to take you guys there with me, right? But it took place this past week. Ford was there. Ford, of course, brought out the 2024 Ford Mustang, right? The Mustang GT, and then they brought out the Dark Horse. They brought out something else on top of that, what they're calling a Supercharger Kit, right? And they're calling this Ford Mustang, what are they calling this? They're calling it the 2024 Ford Mustang FP800S. They're going to have to work on that name, but that's what it's tentatively called right now, FP800S. Long story short, the Supercharger Kit, verbatim, as the automaker has just announced, a Supercharger Kit for the 2024 Ford Mustang that lifts the output of the car's 5.0 liter V8 from a stock 480 horsepower to what Ford promises will be at least 800 horsepower. Final tuning is still being done ahead of the planned market launch in 2024. So they're going to be launching this Supercharger Kit next year with the new Ford Mustangs that will take a standard 5.0 to at least 800 horsepower. That's like taking a Scat and making it a red-eye jailbreak. The kit made its debut on Tuesday at the 2023 SEMA show and will be available as part of the ever-expanding Ford Performance Parts range. The kit has been tested to its own OEM durability standards and will be offered with a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty and will be installed at the dealership or ASE certified shop. The kit consists of a 3.0 Whipple twin screw supercharger, an air-to-water intercooler with a high-flow intercooler pump and an oversized heat exchanger. That's all one sentence there. I don't know why I broke it up. Plus high-flow fuel injectors, billet high-flow fuel rails, high-flow intake, 92 millimeter throttle body. Ford also includes a Tomahawk V2 flash tool. Similar kit at 700 horsepower was launched for the Ford F-150 earlier this year, but now it's coming to the Mustang. Now, the 750 horsepower Supercharger Kit that was previously launched for Mustangs only ran 8,500. And I'm saying only 8,500 is a lot of money. I get it. But for you to literally be doubling your power for less than $10,000 is wild. So the previous Supercharger Kit that gave you 750 was 8,500. 9 times out of 10, this new one will be around that price as well. No more than $10,000. I'm sorry, I got bubble gum in my mouth. Pause. So long story short, Ford is doubling down on big V8s. And on top of the doubling down on big V8s, they're doubling down on big power from big V8s. What we just saw here is the 2024 Ford Mustang GT. Not even the Dark Horse. This is just your standard 5.0, right? Your standard 5.0 putting out 480 horsepower, which actually is a lot. I was surprised. I didn't think 5.0s put that down. That's basically a Scat Pack there. That is a Scat Pack, considering the weight of a Mustang to a Charger or Challenger. But it takes it from a standard 480 horsepower to at least 800. And you're doing this under $10,000 potentially. And it's all installed by Ford mechanics, Ford technicians at a Ford dealership, and you get a 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty. What does that sound like? Doesn't that sound like a program that Dodge started a couple years ago? Oh yeah, direct connection, right? The direct connection program that Dodge promised that they were going to offer 2 and 3 stages for Scat Packs, Hellcats, Red Eyes, and Demons. And they just now are releasing stage 1 kits for damn Hellcats. You know what I'm saying? But Ford is serious, man. And they're saying that this kit is going to be coming out in 2024 along with Ford Mustang GTs in 24. If you get a Ford Mustang GT, and I don't know how much they're starting at, but let's say you get a Ford Mustang GT for, let's say on the high end, you get it for like 55, right? Fully loaded, sunroof, leather, the whole nine, the sound system, all the good stuff, the amenities and all that stuff. And you get it for about 55. Another $10,000 on top of that to take your 480 horsepower 5.0 to potentially 800 horsepower. And you're getting all that power for another $8,000 to $9,000. And it's all under warranty and installed by Ford technicians. How can you beat that? Let's keep it 100 here. How can you beat that? Unlike Dodge, where, I mean, let's be honest here, with the direct connection program, what I'm noticing is that Dodge is, obviously they're modifying the car and they're upgrading it and giving it more power, but they're only giving it as much power as they can afford to be liable for, if that makes sense, right? Like instead of taking a Hellcat from 717 to 900 horsepower, which would require serious upgrades and modifications to the car, which Dodge is not interested in doing because they don't want that liability of something going wrong and potentially having to deal with warranty issues. They just give you software tunes. They give you a little bit of this, like the high performance, quote unquote, high performance intake that they put in my car that I've ripped out and threw a leg maker in there. It's a K&N intake. There's nothing high performance about a K&N air filter, not intake, the air filter. The drop-in air filter that you guys saw me install in my direct connection video, Dodge calls that a high-performance drop-in air intake. It's not. It's a K&N air intake. The same K&N air intake that I put in my Scat Pack Charger when I had my Scat, right? But Dodge calls that a high-performance. There's nothing high-performance about that at all. We ripped that thing out and threw a leg maker in there. So it's one of those things where with the direct connection program, Dodge is only going to give you enough power that they can be comfortable with without having to actually modify the internals of the car too much, right? So the direct connection kit that I have on my car right now, they gave me a 180-degree thermostat. Nothing scary about that. They gave me a elephant pulley. Nothing scary about that. A tune, which is nothing but software. Nothing scary about that. But with this Ford performance program that they're offering, the Supercharger Kit, that's major power and that's major modifications that Ford is willing to offer to their customers and back it by a 36,000 mile warranty. Dodge, however, is not. Dodge is going to give you a little bit of this incremental upgrade here, incremental upgrade there, a little bit of software updating here. Go on about your life. That'd be $5,000, right? That's how much the pre-stage and the stage 1 cost to me. It was about 5,200, right? For taking my car from 717 to 757. So from 40 horsepower, that's about $5,000. You know what I'm saying? So, and Ford is planning on giving you a Whipple supercharger and all this other shit to take your car and literally double the horsepower in your car for under $10,000. I mean, if you're a legitimate muscle car guy, I think it's obvious what team you need to be on when the future arrives, right? I don't give a damn how fast an inline 6 is. I don't want an inline 6 in my house, in my garage, in my car. I don't want an inline 6. I don't want an engine called the Hurricane engine in my car and in my house, my garage. I don't. I'm just keeping 100 with you. Now, the electric car might be interesting just because it's electric, but you know Dodge like I know Dodge. I wouldn't buy first generation anything from Dodge. They had hella issues with the Hellcat when it first came out. They had issues with the first iteration of the Demon when it came out. I would not buy, well, some of the Demons had issues, not all of them. I would not buy a single first iteration of anything that came from Dodge, especially an electric powered automobile, something that they've never seen, never tested. And all of a sudden they want to throw 885 horsepower in it and give it to you at a mere cost of a little under or over $100,000. If you value the big V8s, you value the V8 experience, you value the sound, the engine, the power, all that stuff, the grumble, the grumble, I think that's what it is. Yeah. Or whatever, you know what I mean? The exhaust sound, all that stuff. It's clear that Ford is the best option. Unless Dodge comes in with something that we don't see, you know, we never guessed. Some YouTubers keep talking about 392 Hemis in the future. Keep talking about Hemis. I don't foresee that. Everything that I'm reading officially is talking about an inline-six Hurricane engine and an electric motor. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear or read anything about 392s or Hemis or nothing, but anything is possible. I only know what I know. But it's apparent to me that if you are legitimately into the muscle car market and you want to keep things traditional, Ford is the way to go, because Ford is literally doubling down on the V8. While Dodge is cowering and getting away from it altogether, Ford is literally saying, let's offer a V8 and let's make it bigger and more powerful. And that maybe is what, that's probably what Ford's strategy was, right? Like Dodge came out with the Hellcat first. They came out with the big power first and literally took over the market and took the market by storm for what? We could say 5-7 years, from 2015 to about 2020, 2021. Dodge was pretty much killing the market. Nobody was messing with it. Hellcat, Red Eye, Demon, Jailbreak, nobody was messing with Dodge. But now that Dodge is bowing out of the muscle car market and sales are starting to decline for Scat Packs and Hellcats, right? This is when Ford is shining. This is the time where it's time for Ford to shine, because now they can offer their big V8. They can offer their big Supercharger Kit. They can offer a new body style, a new interior, all that stuff. While Dodge is still hanging on from the Hellcat from 2015. And now moving into an era where it's going to be inline-six Hurricane, twin turbo Hurricane, and an electric motor. Meanwhile, Ford is doubling down on all things V8. On any and all things V8. That's a CMPD officer that just pulled around. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things like, maybe it was all a part of their plan all along. Maybe that was the strategy. It was the long game. Like, we'll give Dodge 5 to 7 years of dominance. But as they're declining, as the Hellcat and the Scat Pack is declining, that's when we're going to drop the biggest V8s, the biggest Superchargers, the biggest, most powerful Ford Mustangs that the world has ever seen, and take the market by storm. And everybody that owns a Scat or a Cat will convert. I mean, Ford has dropped the Dark Horse, the GTD, $350,000 supercar V8, 850 plus horsepower. Okay. That's a legitimate track car, which Dodge no longer has. Dodge no longer has a Viper anymore. So we have no track car. And now they're dropping this Supercharger Kit to rival the direct connection program, right? That's going to take your 5.0 from 480 to 800 plus. And they're giving you a new body style, a new interior, new interface, new software, new everything. Meanwhile, Dodge is still charging $70,000 for Scat Pack wide bodies. I don't know, man. I'm going to hold on to my Hellcat, trust and believe that. I love this car. But for you guys that are looking to jump ship, Ford just gave you another legitimate reason to do so. So, as always, guys, it's been your boy Knockout 360. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. See you guys in the next one. Tell me how you feel about this 800 horsepower Ford Mustang 5.0. Peace.